Hello, everyone. As he said, I'm Nicole Sedlacek. Excited to be here today. Courtney really set the stage as to the why. I'm going to kind of dive into the toolbox and what are some items available in our toolbox from a utility perspective, from an economic development perspective, to really try to attract new investment into our communities and to our state. In economic development, we have several toolboxes. We have toolboxes from a financing perspective, a toolbox for a workforce perspective, but today's toolbox is really about from that renewable energy perspective. These tools are really all designed for different size customers. Three tools specifically that I'm going to talk about are the renewable energy credits for existing and new customers, community solar for small to medium-sized customers, and then the market-based rate, which is designed really more for those large industrial users. So first project, and John kind of talked about this earlier with the BD project, but renewable energy credits. And these are available to commercial and industrial customers in Nebraska, both new and existing customers. So with renewable energy credits, customers are required to make a significant commitment to buying all of these RECs. So they make a commitment over a 15, 20, or 25-year period, and it has to be from a specific newly built wind farm in Nebraska. So as John mentioned, we had an industrial customer in Nebraska, Beck & Dickinson, BD, who was a customer of two of our wholesale customers, Loop Public Power District and also the city of Holdridge. But that company had a specific goal of wanting to achieve a goal of 25% renewables at that time. So they wanted to buy into a wind farm, and NPPD pursued that wind farm on their behalf. So the purchase price for these RECs, it's the difference between the locational market price and an indexed or fixed REC price. And it includes the incremental transmission costs of tying into the new wind farm into the grid. So with these RECs, NPPD or the utility signs that purchase power agreement with the wind developer. And again, it has to have that additionality that the new wind farm was built because of the C&I REC purchase. And NPPD or the utility, again, is responsible for all of the SPP marketing and those purchase power agreement requirements. The second tool is around community solar. And so a great example of this in our service territory involves in Kearney. So NPPD worked for more than a year with the city of Kearney and SoCore Energy, currently for the largest solar installation at 5.8 megawatts. Community solar is a really good way for anyone interested in participating in a renewable project. Small and large businesses in Kearney, for example, the University of Nebraska at Kearney, Central Community College, and Expansion, all purchased shares for this project. But what's really unique about this, and we talk a lot in economic development about being site ready and prospect ready and ready for when that economic development project comes to your community, the city of Kearney has taken a big step to be ready from a renewable energy perspective, and the city is currently covering shares on the solar farm to be able to attract a tenant into their Tech One crossing park. So it's a unique aspect. Again, we talk a lot about being site ready, project ready, and the city of Kearney, and again, their vision to embrace renewables and to be really ready to entice a prospect to their community with this renewable energy should be commended. So this has a lot of text on it, but it's a great tool that I think the state of Nebraska really has a lot to credit to OPPD, because they were the ones that really went out on behalf of their company to get a market-based rate to help attract a large user like Facebook into their service territory. So they really paved the way and really paved the way for Nebraska Public Power District to kind of look at it, how could we offer this to again be able to attract new investment? It provides that alternate rate structure. So many utilities have their fixed costs recovered in energy charges. And what we do with the market-based rate is we take those fixed charges, or those fixed costs out of the energy charges, and we add them in the demand charge. So the demand charge goes up higher than it may be today, and then the energy charge then floats with the market. So it'd be a direct pass-through with what the Southwest Power Pool charges to NPPD or to the utility for that energy. It may be, it's a little bit more volatile than a standard rate than what a large user may want to have, but there's a reason why they would want that volatility. It helps create that energy price hedge for the renewable generator. The utility continues to still be the total requirements provider for the customer, and the customer still buys 100% of their power and energy from the utility, but the utility then not having the risk with their renewable generator project. So from what it looks like on the wholesale side of things is that it's a wholesale special power product, and it's available to all of NPPD's customers on the 2016 wholesale power contract, and it's for their qualifying end-use customer loads. So even though it's a wholesale rate, it's specifically carved out to an end-use retail customer load to apply it to. And at our retail level, we have a market rider that passes through the provisions of the wholesale rate, and then we would add sub-transmission and distribution costs if needed to for that customer. So again, a lot of text on this screen, but what it looks like is the customer has a customer charge. The production demand charge is designed to recover all of that fixed production cost, so it minimizes the shifting of the cost to others. We do have a minimum load size for this type of rate. It's 20 megawatts. The target for this rate is those large customers that really have that appetite for renewable energy. They're wanting that renewable energy, but they also have the ability to contract for their own renewable generation. The demand charge would apply to the peak load each month. There's no demand waiver program, so it isn't a load management. This isn't for a load management customer. It's intended for that high load factor type customer. On the energy charges, it's a direct pass-through of the Southwest Power Pool charges. Transmission and ancillary, those remain unbundled, and the rates and billing provisions will be exactly the same for those general firm power service customers. Again, if a retail customer of ours would have sub-transmission and distribution charges, we would then add it to there. So this is what it looks like from just a simplified example. You have your customer's purchase power price, what they've negotiated into, and we have it just 3 different hours, hour A, B, and C. That purchase power price remains the same for every hour. The SPP market price for load would be on the expense side of $20 for hour A. And hour A on the revenue side for the Southwest Power Pool market price for generation, it's $20. So that provides that customer a net energy cost of $25. So it's just a simple example to show what that would look like. This won't always be the case. It won't always be an even out. It depends on how large a renewable generator project they contract for and hours of generation. But this just provides a simple example of how that would work with their purchase power price and market price for load and generation. So from a benefits perspective, a number of benefits, for all parties involved. From a qualifying end-use customers, it helps customers meet their renewable energy goals. It also provides a new rate structure that provides that price hedge for renewable energy purchases. From NPPD and other utilities perspective, again, it provides us another tool in the toolbox to really be ready when economic development prospects come into the state, come into our region, our counties, and our communities. They typically want to work fast, so there isn't a lot of time to try to create a new structure or a new rate. So this helps us be ready from an economic development perspective to help with recruitment. And then from a fixed cost recovery perspective, it's consistent with our standard rates, and it works better. Again, this type of market-based rate works best for those customers that have that renewable energy appetite. So we'll get to questions at the end of the panel, but I'll turn it over.
you.